Here we go with das ELISA double antibody sandwiched enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. So as the title suggests, double antibody. So here we have two antibodies, and two antibodies is sandwiching a antigen in between, and with the help of an enzyme linked. And what we have here in common is an antibody is conjugated with an enzyme, and that helps us in the immunosorbent assay, in immunodetection, like immune cells, like multiple immunoassays. For example, HIV detection or different other bacterial viral infections. All in such case of in infections, there are viral and bacterial proteins, and those proteins or those antigens can be detected very efficiently by this method. We'll talk about the steps of das ELISA, how is it actually performed in this slide. Okay, there are four major steps as shown in here. First step is coating of the suspected antibody. Second one is addition of suspected sample. Third, addition of secondary enzyme coated conjugated antibody. And finally, addition of substrate. Let's go each topic one by one. Okay, first step is coating of the suspected antibody. Here what is shown in here is, okay, shown in here is a plate, right? This is a microtiter plate, or we'll call ELISA plate also. Okay, these are the ELISA plates. This may be 8 well, 9 well, 10 well, or 96 well, basically 96 well plates. They are made of a polystyrene, or depending upon the use we can choose the type of plate we use, because these plates are coated or they are treated with different reagents so that it can hold the efficient binding of our suspected or antibody. It can hold efficiently the proteins to detect. So first what it is done is the ELISA kits. The ELISA kits is specifically prepared for detection of a particular antigen is initially coated with the antibody, or if we wish to determine a particular antigen and we have an antibody of that, we can coat the ELISA plates with our suspected antibody. These are the antibodies. These shown in this Y-septic structures are our antibody. This is the antibody. Okay, we'll denote it by AB, right? AB. This is our antibody. So these antibody is suspected antigen corresponding. We know that antibody antigens are complementary, or they form a Loci model, right? So if we suspect an antigen to be present in our unknown sample, then we need to first coat the microtiter plate with the sample. Now what this is provided antibody. Like for example, now, if we had a blood, after the plate has been coated with the antibody, and the serum sample is shown in here, consists of different particles. Like what is shown in here is, this is the suspected antigen. We will denote it here by AZ. Okay, antigen denoted by AZ, right? Okay, so now initially we had an antibody, and if our suspected sample, means if our suspected sample is positive, this is a case of positive, like positive. Okay, if our sample is positive, then it will have, if the sample is positive, it will have the suspected antigens as shown in this blue triangles, right? Blue triangles showing the suspected antigen. Beside than that, we may have other protein components or other different components present in our sample, but they are not complementary to our bound antibody, so they won't bind. Only the suspected antigens if present will bind to this hands of the antibody, and they will be present in this way. And in this step, what we have to always take care of is, after every step we need to wash off, so that the unnecessary unbound particles get washed away. And the same happens in here. After we add the sample, we keep it for incubation for some time, and after that we wash off with the washing buffer, so that only the bound particles, that is these things, remain. As you will see here. Now as shown in here, these two triangles, these are the suspected antigen, are bound to our antibody if present. Now the third step is the addition of the secondary enzyme coated antibody, that is shown in here. Okay, these are our enzyme. This is an enzyme coated antibody. The antibodies are same as shown before, but the difference is that in its tail there is an enzyme coated. What it does is, it binds to the initially bound antigen. If our sample consists of the suspected antigen and that is bound to our initially bound primary antibody, well, this is our first antibody, so we name it as primary, or this is called primary antibody 1, and the second we name it as secondary antibody. So this is a secondary antibody which is coated with an enzyme as shown in here, and this was our primary antibody. Now if the enzyme, or this is also a secondary antibody, right? Okay, now we have access of the enzyme conjugated antibody, but only the amount of the antigens present in our sample will be bound to the enzyme coated antibody. So depending upon the intensity of the antigens present in the sample, the intensity of the enzyme coated antibody also increases. So if excess of enzyme coated antibodies are present but it doesn't have the sufficient amount of antigen, then it get washed away in the second step when you wash it with the washing buffer. Okay, only the remaining enzyme coated antibody that are bound to the enzyme in the present sample gets bound, as shown in here, as shown in this whole figure, right? You can see in here. Okay, now in the final step, or the fourth step, addition of substrate. We have added the substrate. Why did we add the substrate? So that this is the substrate as shown in here, substrate, and we have colored it yellow, but all the substrate are not colored yellow. We can say all the 4 substrate. Why it is on? Because we have already an enzyme present here, but we don't have an enzyme for the other substrate. The substrate is a colorless substrate before, but when it comes in contact with the enzyme, it does chemical reaction and it gives the color that can be visualized by our eye, or sometimes we need a spectrophotometer to visualize it, or ELISA reader for that, depending upon the color intensity. So more the antigens present in the sample, here we can see more the antigens present in the sample, more will be the enzyme conjugated antibodies attached to the antigen, and more will the substrate be converted into the product, so giving more intensity of color. So higher the intensity of color, we can judge there is a higher infection rate or higher viral or bacterial titer in the sample. So in this way we can determine the concentration as well as the presence or absence of particular viral or bacterial sample. Here we can have a brief knowledge of we can all summarize it as well why it was. Now I may have a basic idea why it is called double antibody sandwich ELISA, because there are 2 antibody, primary antibody, downward antibody, primary antibody, secondary antibody, 2 antibody, enzyme conjugated, and it helps in the detection of different immune reactions, immune cells, protein interaction, and it has been coated in between the like a sandwich. This antigen has been coated like sandwich between 2 antibodies. So this is all enzyme linked immunosorbent